What is up, everybody? It's CJ Plays here, and I'm back with another Rockwood Island renovation video. So the house that we're going to be renovating today is called the Lilac. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. However, I really only use 2 bedrooms technically, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I was trying to figure out how to furnish this house and like what I wanted to like make it be. Did I want to go for something kind of basic? Did I want to go for something themed? And then I went on the Sims 3 website and I was just looking at like different objects and stuff, and then it literally hit me, y'all. I decided to make this house for a retired performer. Now, I've done something kind of like this with Rosewood Park, but this is a little bit different though. So this sim was traveling with a performing troupe, and I want to say this sim was probably like a jack of all trades, but you know, in terms of the Sims 3, I would say that they're more likely just a magician. So this sim was like also hypnotizing people on the road and just kind of like filling in wherever they needed him to. So this sim has been traveling for years. Him and his troupe have went to every Sims 3 world, and now he is just ready to retire, settle down, downsize, and just chill. So he moved to Rockwood Island. As a lot of y'all already know, this world is super small, so he just wanted some peace and quiet, you know. So he moved into this house, and this house is a little bit older, like, you know, it's probably like one of the oldest ones in the neighborhood. So a lot of the furnishings will be very outdated, and also, as you can probably already see, a lot of the furnishings are going to include items that he had with him when he was traveling on the road. So I'm talking fancy signs. I'm talking like that little display case with a bunch of little trinkets and stuff inside of it. A lot of the house, a good maybe 80% of the house, is just stuff that he already had with him that he's just now moving into an actual house, which, you know, I kind of like, because this house, I mean, to be fair, it kind of looks put together, but in a good way, I would say. Like, I'm not disappointed in it. The only room that's kind of maybe a little bit too out there would be the kitchen, but we shall talk about that in a little bit. But for the living room, as you can see, I'm just kind of placing down a lot of objects from Showtime. I use a lot of store content for this build because I just kind of wanted to, like, I don't know, just kind of go all out with the like performer, magician, like circusy kind of vibe. I even use a lot of the objects from the Vegas set or the Sims 3 store. So we have like that card table. There's just like a bunch of just stuff in this house, okay? Like, I mean, it's kind of teetering on over cluttered, like maybe you should delete some stuff, but there's a lot. So I found this nice sectional. It's store content. I could not tell you what pack it comes with, but or what set it comes with, but it's a really cool sectional. So I decided to like make it into an L-shaped. I also use this little end table from the movie stuff pack as well. I don't know, movie stuff has a lot of good objects, you know. The only issue I have with this build is the fact that it's kind of small. And now, you know, that's not really like the house's fault, you know, so to speak, but like if we had more space, y'all, I would have put so much more clutter in this house. Maybe it's for the best that it doesn't have that much stuff in here, but I would have cluttered this house down to the floor. So I had to catch myself, and I had to be like, no, CJ, stop. So I did my best with the space that was provided, and I'm really pleased with everything. Like, I don't know, like I'm even using like that mask. I think it's free on the Sims 3 website, and I paired it up with that little like sun wall decal. And I also found this really cool room divider. So the Drifter's Desire set had like a lot of like cool objects that I wanted to use for this build. So I found this room divider. Now I need to playtest this to make sure your sim can still maneuver this space. You know, it is still the Sims 3. If this was a Sims 4, I feel like we would really not have any issues at all. But in the Sims 3, Sims need more space. So I'm going to playtest just to make sure. But moving on, this is the kitchen, and y'all, this room's going to be controversial. I mean, let me know down below, how do you feel about the kitchen, okay? Like, don't worry about hurting my feelings. I'm a big boy, I can handle it. But let me know, is the kitchen ugly? Because I wanted to use this Drifter Desire fridge, and I also wanted to like pair it up with these countertops from the storybook set. And the reason why is because like, I don't know, they just kind of give off like a really nice vibe. Kind of reminds me of like a traveling circus kind of vibe, you know? And then at one point I was like, well, maybe these countertops are not really the vibe, because for whatever reason, even if you like match certain colors or drag the color wheel like object on another color or another object, sometimes the colors won't really transfer over one. So I wanted to use like these Edwardian countertops instead, but then I was like, they just don't look like, they look cool, but I just wanted to use the storybook ones. I think those kind of pair a lot nicer with the Drifter's Desire fridge. So I ended up using that with the supernatural stove, and I also use like the matching storybook counters. Like, again, I feel like the kitchen is Maybe a little ugly, kinda, but I like it, okay? The sim that lives here is very eccentric, very, you know, dignified. They just like what they like, and they don't really care if anyone else likes it or don't like it. So I also wanted to use like some nice green tile down here as well. The tile comes with the late night pack, by the way. And also, a lot of people ask me, CJ, where do you get the hardwood floors? I need to look up the name, but basically the floors come with the world itself. Oh, and while I'm talking about this, let me ask y'all something. So I know it's been a couple of videos in this series thus far, but let me know, have anybody had any issues downloading any of the houses? So this time around, instead of just like uploading the Sims 3 file for the house that you have to install through the launcher, I'm also including a Sims 3 package version, and that version just goes into your library. So when you download this, it'll come in like a zip file, you unzip it, and it'll have like a readme file, basically saying the same thing that I'm saying. You don't really have to have both of them installed. So let me know, has anyone had any issues downloading any of these houses? I know like some people had issues with the Rosewood Park builds, but I just wanted to know, do y'all have any issues with this? Because let me know. I mean, the Sims 3 launcher, as y'all know, is kind of weird, and the Sims 3 itself can be kind of weird with installing stuff. So, like, I hope that this fixes the issue, but if not, I'm going to try to figure out something. Just bear with me. I don't know. If y'all have any suggestions, just let me know, because, like, I don't know. I kind of talked over the entire kitchen, but, like, you saw it, right? Now, this is the second room. Now, this could potentially be a bedroom if you wanted it to be, but I wanted this to be like a home office for the sim. So I feel like, you know, the sim is retired, however they still kind of perform, but it's more so for like birthday parties, private events, like very like small, you know, smaller things, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of wanted the sim to kind of have like a base of operations, so to speak, or like a little workspace. So I used this to kind of be like an office. So I used like the little corner nook space to put a desk from university. I also got some stored content today. You know, if you couldn't already tell, I got it from one of the sets on the Sims 3 store. So I used like that nice painting to come with it. I paired up this desk with the bookshelf from the pets pack, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna look really good, because like the bookshelf kind of looks like a trunk that you would like hold or like carry stuff in, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe this is like a repurposed trunk or something like that. I wanted to use like this really cool lamp from Showtime, but it was just not going to fit, so I ended up just like not using it. I used like a lamp from, I think, like the Vegas set. I also used this really nice light fixture. I think it's from the Drifter's Desire set on the Sims 3 store. And then I also used like the plant. Y'all know that is like one of my favorite plants in the entire game. It's also really cheap too, so I used that in the corner. I wanted to put a nice rug, which I found this one from university, and it has like a little like crest or something on it, and I was like, ooh, maybe the sim used to be a part of like a secret society or something like that, or maybe they're a part of like an actors guild, so I wanted to like kind of just put that in here as well. I also put like a nice little bench in here just so the sim could have like a place to sit. You know, maybe they want to read something and just sit down. It's a really nice bench, by the way. I also have like some of the chairs that comes with the set. I forgot the name of the set, but I got like some of the chairs to come with it too, and I put one upstairs. But that's pretty much everything for the office. I also did put up an elephant in here. I had to. Like I said, the sim has a lot of mementos from like, you know, their trailer and when they will perform on the road. So this house is very cluttered and very full of memorabilia, if that makes sense. Oh, I also felt like this really big poster from Showtime, and I was like, ooh, maybe that was like one of their signs from like back in the 80s. They used to use to like advertise themselves, and I was like, maybe he kept a copy and put it behind the couch or something, like, I don't know. Moving on, this is the downstairs bathroom. So as you can see, it is attached to the office space, so I feel like this is more like a private bathroom. So I wanted this one to be very fancy. I mean, to be fair, both of the bathrooms in this house are very fancy, but this is like the one that's like private. Really, no one uses this one, okay? So I wanted to like use this really cool lock and key design. I don't know, whenever I think about it, I think of like performing and tricks and magic. I don't know why, but I just do. So I wanted to use that in here. You'll see that I use this design quite often in this build. Like literally in the living room, it's the same design as the rug. Anyway, in here though, I wanted to use like this, I think it's through the looking glass. I think that's the set it comes with. I wanted to use the tub and the sink, because it kind of just look like really cool and fancy in a way. I recolored everything to be blue, and then I used this mirror. I cannot tell you what that mirror comes from. Maybe it's the Regal set, I don't know. I also wanted to use the nook space in this room for the toilet. Now, I didn't use the crown toilet that comes with that set. You know, like, that's it right there. I could not use it, y'all. I was like, no, let's not. So I used like another toilet instead. And then I found like this really cool like wall tile. I don't really know what set it comes with, but it's store content and it looks so cool. So I had to put it above the toilet. And then you won't really see it in the video. As you can see, the hallway isn't really that big. So what I did off camera is I put like the little crystal ball table. I put that here with a chair. A sim won't be able to use it, but maybe if this was real life, you know, you could just drag the chair out and use it. It was more so for decoration, you know. And moving on, this is the first bedroom. So for this one, I originally wanted to use this Vegas card bed, and I really wanted to make it work, y'all, but I was like, I just cannot. You know, I like the bed, but I was like, no, this bed just it doesn't really fit the vibe, especially with the nightstands. I wanted to use like those safe nightstands, and I was like, that does not look good. Even if I recolor it, it's not really giving to me. So I got rid of the bed, and then I found this bed from the Showtime pack, which I don't really think I've used it all too often, maybe a couple times in a couple videos, but I was like, ooh, this is perfect for this kind of build, because it's kind of like a fancy bed, but also it looks kind of like basic, but in a good way, like just a good standard bed, you know. So I had to use that in here as well. So like really the goal for me for this entire build was to, like, you know, have it be themed, but also kind of have it be practical, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go like too themed, if that makes sense. So I also found like this vanity table from the Supernatural pack. It functions as a dresser, so I kind of wanted to put like a chair. Sometimes you'll see I'll do stuff like this in builds. I'll put like a chair kind of close to the vanity. Of course, if this was real life, you could sit at the chair and, like, you know, look in the mirror, but in The Sims we don't really have anything that kind of slots in The Sims 3 to that, so I kind of just put a chair kind of far away from it. I also put up a nice painting with some Sims. Maybe these are like family members or like Sims that the Sim has met throughout the years. I also used like this really cool dice lamp from the Vegas set, and then I wanted to use that rug from Supernatural. It's kind of like a splat. It has like the newspaper design, so I could imagine this Sim maybe got like some of the newspaper articles about like his shows and stuff, and maybe he got them like printed onto a rug, and I was like, that'd be kind of cool. I also got another one of those signs. You'll see I put like some of these signs up in the rooms and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much basically everything for this room. I was trying to like dig through more clutter, so I had to keep like pausing and unpausing. But moving on, y'all. So this is the other bedroom. So I kind of feel like since the Sim has basically lived all over the world and has traveled, I kind of feel like they want to settle down and maybe possibly adopt. So as of now, this room is more like a storage room for a lot of their other stuff they just didn't have space for. But I feel like the Sim is still trying to decide on whether or not they want to adopt a baby or a toddler. So I did put a crib in this room, you know. So maybe if you play here, you know, and you can make a magician Sim, or you can make a Sim and maybe get them a baby, or even if you just want to have a baby in this house, I wanted to put a crib in here just because. But as you can see now, it's just a bunch of clutter from Showtime and just other packs and stuff like that, and some store content. So it's very cluttered in here, but I was able to squeeze in a crib just in case. And then like the chair that I used by the vanity table, I put that right beside this statue just so you could have a place to sit in here. I also used this nice sunflower rug, and then I also used one of those like Vegas set card bookshelves. I thought it was kind of cool in here as well. But that's pretty much everything for this bedroom. And then the last room in the house is this very, very, very fancy bathroom. Okay, so I found like this tile. I don't know what set it comes with. It might be, I think it's store content, maybe it's Roaring Heights, I don't know, but I found this flooring and it looked so fancy, and I was like, ooh, the Sim that lives here would definitely have something like that. So the theme for this bathroom is just like very elegant and fancy. So it's black and gold. Took me a while. You'll see that the thought process was definitely there. So at first I was going to use like the base game counters, but then I was like, so I swapped them out with the Cloud 9 countertops. I used that angled shower from the base game that I never use, and then I also put like a nice toilet over here too, just to kind of like have some nice fancy vibes. As you'll see, everything in here is like black and gold. But that's pretty much everything for this video. If you want to download this build, I will leave a link down below. Also, y'all, please let me know, have y'all had any issues downloading anything? I need to know. But anyway, y'all, that is all that I have for this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to leave a like, comment something down below, stick around for the screenshots, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching!